Today I wanted to talk about a discussion that I've been seeing in the design community, and I've been in more recent days realizing the importance of getting the message out there, not only for the design community, but also for the businesses that we serve. And the discussion really starts from the question, what's the difference between art and design? And so even before watching this video any farther, I just encourage you to pause it and say, how would I define art? How would I define design? And what's the difference if there is any difference? The reason why I think this is critical is because I think businesses have to manage their expectations of what they're looking for whenever they're working with a designer. And also, I think it's important because designers, quote designers, need to be upfront and real with their capabilities before selling their services as design, if in actuality all they're producing is art. Now, the way I define art is interpretive expression. And so what I mean by that, and I think it's universally accepted, is that art is somebody trying to express an idea, an opinion, a person, a concept, or themselves, self-expression, and they're doing that in creative, interpretive ways. Design, on the other hand, is art with a purpose. So whereas art is an end in itself to be appreciated, design utilizes art to accomplish some end result on the other side of it. And so design really involves strategy. It involves a goal. So this is my current state, here's my desired state, and I have a strategy in between that's going to dictate my design. And so if there is no strategy, I don't think it's fair to call it design. Now, again, the reason I think it's critical for businesses to understand the difference is because a lot of times I think businesses are going to quote designers with a pre-planned strategy. And they're saying, this is who I am, this is where I am, this is where I'd like to be, this is my desired state. Here are the steps we'd like to take to get there. Here is the website, for example, or the brochure, the logo that we would like designed. And they expect the designer to execute on that strategy that was already developed without the creative person sitting at the table contemplating strategy. I'm reading a book right now called Creative Strategy in the Business of Design. I highly recommend it. It's by Douglas Davis. But basically he says, it just makes sense when you have creative people at the table from the outset contemplating strategy. It just makes more sense that that strategy will be executed if they're sitting there contemplating with the CEO or the business owner. I think it's also a crucial point for creatives, designers, artists to understand, because I think a lot of artists are dubbing themselves designers when in actuality they have no strategy guiding the things that they produce for businesses, and they're selling it as design. I don't think there's anything wrong with creating artistic expressions of businesses. So if you're a business and you want to express that in an artistic, interpretive way, I think that's totally fine. I just think that if there's no strategy dictating the design, then you shouldn't sell it as design, because the design by definition requires a strategy, requires an end result. And so a lot of times, if you're a designer or you're calling yourself a designer, I think that you have a moral obligation to study business. I think you have an obligation to study how can I use creativity or creative visual communication and use that to produce actionable, measurable results. And it takes a lot of work. I understand that it takes a lot of study and research and testing and trial and error. And a lot of people don't really want to do that. And it takes the heart and the essence out of their craft, and they want to continue to express themselves the way they express themselves, which I totally think that's fine. I just don't think that it's fair to the businesses that we serve to call it design and sell it as design when in actuality there is no strategy.